everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Yes Ma'am. This is season 2, episode 5. Today we have a very special guest here with us. We have Nancy Kerrigan, Olympic figure skater, with us today. We are so appreciative that she chose to spend her evening with us. Let's go ahead and get started.
So Nancy, here at Ohio, it's really about community. One of the big sayings at the university is include, not exclude. So I know like figure skating has like a really big community. So what does community really mean to you?
Oh, well, I mean, as an athlete, I'm in a sport that when I'm performing, I'm out there alone. But nobody gets anywhere, whether it's to the top or to their best or whatever alone. Like, you need that community, you need support. And there's definitely no shame in ever asking for help, because as people, we all need help at different times in our lives. And even if you don't need it now, you might someday, and so I think it's always important to be there for one another. And it's so community is huge. I would never have gotten to the Olympics without my family, friends, parents of friends. I mean, there were times when a friend of mine, I remember he was sick for like 2 weeks, and his dad still picked me up at school at a different town that he lived in, come to my town, pick me up at school, brought me farther from his home. His son didn't even go, but he was my ride. So he still took me, brought me from that rink to another rink 2 hours later. Like, it does take effort by a lot of people to help out, and I hope they know I still think about it and still appreciate all the help I got from so many.
And then through all of your experience competing, what did it teach you?
So it wasn't so much the competition that taught me, it was more and the results. It wasn't the results, it was more about the journey that gave me really what I learned in life. The getting up, trying again, keep going back after a hard day. As a skater, we literally fall thousands and thousands of times. I think that taught me the best lessons in life. Things aren't easy. Things worth doing are hard. And I do know not everyone makes it to that Olympic team or whatever, but it's the journey that taught me all the big lessons anyway, not the competition and not the winning. It was more of that journey and having that, as you guys were talking about, the community.
Yeah, what would you say was your favorite moment from the Olympics when you went?
Oh, it was the opening ceremonies was my favorite moment. I mean, there's some pretty cool things from 92. Such a different time. After the closing ceremonies, there's all the athletes, there's the performances happening, and then at the very end they said, all right, come on down, like it's a big party. To everybody in the arena could come down. I mean, you guys have grown up in a different generation where security would never allow that now. I mean, you can't even imagine it, but it was crazy chaos. And so it was really fun. And amongst the entire crowd, I actually was walking by and found my family. I couldn't believe it because there were thousands of people there. And it was really exciting. So that was like a strange, unique moment that I think we'll never witness again in our lifetime.
And then women in sports obviously has come a long way in the past 30 years with the continuous rise of women working in sports and playing sports. What do you think the difference is between being a female athlete now and 30 years ago, like differences you've seen or experienced?
I don't know, because I'm not, 25-year-old competing now, but I think the difference between women and men there's still a difference in that. And also being an Olympic athlete, as opposed to if you represent your baseball team or hockey team or something, it's different, because I've seen where somebody goes and asks a professional athlete, hey, can I have your autograph? And they say, no, I'm out with my family right now. And people respond to that like, oh, wow, that's so respectful. That's really nice. But a woman can't do that. A woman athlete can't do that. And then it's certainly not an Olympic athlete, because you're you're an Olympian, so you represent your entire country. And I mean, you can very quickly get a bad name called at you just by saying, oh no, I'm with my family. Instead, they call you something not very nice instead of respecting that. But I don't know, I think the difference is now we also see that women do compete sometimes in certainly in other sports other than figure skating, but longer. Actually in figure skating, there's Mariah Bell was the first time she's the oldest in 94 years. And they keep saying it on TV, she's the oldest national champion for the first time. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's like 25 years old. She's still young. And I can remember being 25. I was touring and skating and still doing all my tricks. Like, why can't she be? Of course she can. And so instead of trying to, it almost like, are you trying to get in her head? Like, you're too old for this? That's not fair. Like, why aren't they like, this is amazing, this is awesome, of course we're stronger. I mean, if I look at a picture of my grandmother at 47, that's younger than me, and she looks like an old lady. I think we just are different today. Women, like, why do we have to be a certain way because of our age? If we're strong, then we can stay strong by training, then good for you, you know. And some want to, some don't peak till they're older. And you know, I mean, certainly it's harder in certain sports, but it's pretty awesome to watch these athletes keep going.
So we want to thank you
so much.
Yes,
Thank you
for
so
being here
much.
today. It has been an honor to talk with you and
Yes.
get to hear your takes on things. So is there anything else you would like to add today?
No, I guess just, you know, life is about perspective, and sometimes things can be overwhelming. And I guess what I would tell some young athlete or somebody today is, if you love it, keep doing it. Of course, there's going to be tough days, but remember why you keep going. And pressure, as Billie Jean King said, pressure is a privilege. And if you're put in a situation to have some athletic pressures and, you know, you have big goals, it's all in perspective. Is it really pressure, or is it is it like a gift? You can take that and use that as fuel instead of pressure. You know, use that pressure as something to give you more energy. You know, it's all perspective of how you